I'm Lorelei, and welcome to Wedding Cakes for You Cake Tutorials. Now, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make buttercream succulents to decorate cupcakes or cakes. I started playing around with these the other day and they are so much fun. I will show you how to pipe each plant individually, freeze them, and then place them on your cupcakes. You can also pipe them directly onto a cupcake, but this is a little easier to manage. The tips that I use in the video are number 81, a variety of round tips including 1, 3, 5, and 12, a large Wilton 1M star, a couple of different size petal tips. Here's the 101, the 102, and the 104, and this is the number 12 round. A variety of star tips. I use 14, 18, and 22. A leaf tip. I use the 352. You will need a batch of buttercream. If you want to make the sandy effect on your cupcakes, you will need graham cracker crumbs and or gold sparkle sugar crystals. You can also mix them together like I did here. Start with a thin layer of buttercream on your cupcake, then dip it into the crumbs. Now I stuck them back in the freezer for a while. Let's start with a large cactus. I'm going to show you two ways to do a cactus, starting with the easier way. Now, using a bag filled with a moss green buttercream and a 1M tip, pipe onto a flower nail that has a piece of wax paper on it. Okay, now squeeze the bag, give it just a little jiggle, and you're also holding the bag at 90 degrees. Slowly pull up and release. Pipe a small flower on top with either a star tip, which is the easiest way to do it, or a very small petal tip, which is what I'm using here. I'm piping 4 petals, basically little ruffles, to give it the appearance of a flower. Now, using a very small round tip, pipe little dots on the edges of the cactus. These ones are a bit too large. Use the tip 1 for this if you want a smaller dot. Now for the smaller cactus, you simply use a smaller star tip. Pipe a tiny flower on top and you're done. This is a really pretty one. This is similar to a mum. Using a number 81 tip and a bag filled with a gray-violet buttercream, make a circle of petals, holding the bag at 45-degree angle. As you move inward toward the center, the bag is held at more of a 90-degree. Now, with a mix of purple and green in a bag fitted with a star tip, simply squeeze, pull, and release until you form a mound of spikes. This round cactus with yellow accents is my favorite. Begin with the number 12 round and pipe a blob of icing as large or as small as you want. Then switch the tip to a small round, number 5. That's the one I used. Pipe round dots equally around the mound and all the way to the top with a squeeze and release motion. Then with a yellow buttercream filled bag and a slightly smaller round tip, I used a 3, Pipe a small yellow dot onto each of the green dots. Now this one is done using the leaf tip and green or purple, or both, striped. Pipe the leaves in a circle and fill in until you get to the center. Now the stars. And I don't know what you call these little spiky green ones, but both of these make great fillers and are super easy to do. The colors are what make these so dramatic. Dark mossy green mixed with the little streaks of purple, red, brown, and buttercup yellow. Play around with the colors a little bit. This big cactus here is a little more realistic than the earlier one I showed you. Here's how to do it. Begin by squeezing a small blob of icing with the number 12 round in green. Then with a rose tip, I'm using a number 102, pipe from the base up to the top a line of frosting. Each one meets in the center. Now using the tiny round tip, the number 1 is the best one for this, make white dots along the edges. Now for the final succulent flower. This one looks very similar to a rose. I'm using a color combination of red and brown to make a dusty rose. So you're going to pipe ribbons around, starting with a tight circle in the center. Keep the tip at the same height and angle for all the ribbons. Make it as large or as small as you want. Now freeze the cactus buttercream flowers for at least 10 minutes. Now when you're ready to put them on your cupcakes, peel them off and place them on your cupcakes with a dab of icing. Fill in around or leave it as it is. I did both, and I think they look fantastic. I set them up and took shots of my buttercream succulents in my garden. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial and that you picked up a tip or two and are inspired to try these awesome piped cactus flowers for yourself.